going on, YouTube? And welcome back to Lions Nation Unite channel here. Today we're going to be doing just multiple scenarios for the NFL draft for the Lions. You know, trading up, trading down, or staying put. What would it look like? And what could the results be for each scenario? And I'm just going to go through a bunch of scenarios, see how this thing plays out. And this is what Brad Holmes gives our team after this free agency. You know, picking up all these defensive talent. Now we have the ability to do BPA or trade up and down. And if we were to trade, what would it look like? What would the compensation be for the Lions here? I'm not going to go through all 7 rounds. We'll probably just do 3 rounds here because it's going through so many scenarios. You don't really want to take forever for each round. Just going through, you know, what the Lions could do at pick 6, and then what would be the options left if they stay there at 18, or if they move up and down, they trade, what teams to trade with, all of that. So that's what we're doing in today's video. Make sure you subscribe before we get into this bad boy. We're almost at 7,000 subscribers. Also hit that like button if you could do so. It does help the channel out. So this is the PFF simulator. This is the one I use. I like it because they do the draft for you. Let me get this situated a little bit better for you. You guys can see the whole screen here instead of just the main one. Let's see. There we go. Now you can see the picks here. We're going to go just a little bit slower here so we can actually see. I don't know how this is going to shape out, but I fully expect, and I'm sure you guys fully expect, at least 3 quarterbacks to go in the top 5. So we'll see how this one pans out here. And okay, so it doesn't really matter of what quarterbacks win in here. Do I think Will Levis is going 1? Absolutely not. It's probably going to be closer to C.J. Stroud or Bryce Young in there. And Will Levis or Anthony Richardson will probably be drafted in the top 5. So it does leave a quarterback to the Lions at pick 6. And this is a very real scenario. Not the way that it played out, but that there's a quarterback available there at 6. And in this case, it's Anthony Richardson. More likely, it'd probably be a Will Levis. Either way, teams want a quarterback. So the Lions could sit here, and you could take a Jalen Carter, or you could take a Tyree Wilson or a Devin Witherspoon, or you could take an Anthony Richardson. Go BPA right here, whatever they wanted to do. But what if they're like, you know what? With this quarterback here, we don't want to draft a quarterback. We want to trade. And this is a real scenario for the Lions in the NFL draft. So here we have the Atlanta Falcons. Now, I'm going to be 100% honest with you. I don't know how much they would want to trade to get this player. It'd probably be more the Tennessee Titans would like to get a quarterback, in all honesty. And so if the Titans wanted to get a quarterback, you would get this year's 11th pick. So we swapping picks there. They get 6. We get 11. Maybe you get a 4th rounder or a 5th rounder, something around there. So we'll just go ahead and throw that in there. And probably a 1st-round pick next year. I'm going to force this trade because that's what it would be. You'd be getting a pick for next year. That's very beneficial, too, for the Lions, because what if they're not sold on some of the talent now, or they want to let free agents that we picked up this year leave? They have draft capital to replace them next year in next year's draft. So this is a scenario to pick up, if we were to move down from 6 to 11, to pick up a 1st-round pick for the Tennessee Titans next year. Now, the Titans, we don't really know what they're going to be next year. Are they going to be good? Are they going to be bad? I think they'll be decent because they got Mike Vrabel as a head coach. So if you're trying to get their 1st-round pick, it's probably going to be in the teens. But that gives Lions ammunition to make a move. They would have our 1st-round pick and the Titans' 1st-round pick. So we force the trade. Then we go ahead, and for the Lions, they're picking at 11. So we picked up a 1st-round pick next year. Really good. Would Tyree Wilson be here? Possibly. But you have Kalijah Cansey, I think, is a more realistic option. I think if I'm sitting at 11, it is probably between these two, and maybe you can throw in Quentin Johnson as well. But we're going to go with Kalijah Cansey. So you traded back, you get an interior defensive lineman, you pick up a later round pick this year and a first round pick next year, and you still get a talent that you need at 11 that you potentially could be looking at 6 for sure. So we're sitting at pick 18 here. They can go in many different routes. We went interior defensive line. Great. I think Quentin Johnson's actually a possibility here at 18 if we don't get DJ Chark. Now, I'm recording this Friday morning. So in a couple hours, you'll see this video. Maybe something has happened by then with DJ Chark, but as I'm recording this, nothing has happened. You go Lucas Van Ness to build up the edge. It gives you options here, and I think these are realistic options too. They could go Brian Banch. I don't know if they would do that. Now, Jeff Risdon and other beat writers state that they're definitely not out of the cornerback market. But if you get a cornerback right now, high in the draft, they're probably not going to see a lot of time. Do you want to have that happen? If DJ Chark leaves, Quentin Johnston would have plenty of time to be with this offense and get acclimated with Jared Goff. Or you can go quarterback, and I've been hearing about Hendon Hooker. But personally, I would probably go Quentin Johnston if we don't get DJ Chark back, or Lucas Van Ness, edge. So I don't know what's going on. I'll just go Lucas Van Ness right now. I'll say that DJ Chark is back. So you get your edge, you get a interior, your defensive line is fixed. Okay, this is a problem we've been having for years. It's been, since 2014 we had a really good one. Lions get a quality player. And we got 2 picks in the second round. Okay? And I think Steve Avila is actually a realistic option because if you look at Big V, he took a massive pay cut. Is he the future? I don't know. Graham Glasgow, we did sign him to a 1-year deal. Is he the future? I don't think so. He's a stopgap type of guy. I think this would be realistic, and I'd actually would like this selection if they're to go Steve Avila, or if maybe there's Osiris Torrance in there too. I'd have to look, but that's an option too for the Lions. But right here, Steve Avila. So that is a possibility. And you're sitting here at pick 55. They could go quarterback if Hendon Hooker is available, or they can go running back. That is a possibility. We'll see. Yeah, the running back Jahmyr Gibbs is gone. That's interesting. I think Chicago took Bijan Robinson and Jahmyr Gibbs. That would be absolutely unrealistic. But either way, you can go to BPA, best player available, whatever you want to do. Get a wide receiver, get a cornerback if you want. It gives you options. It gives you options. And that's important. You go Tula. Let's go linebacker here. We do need a linebacker. So you're still getting really good players, even if you trade back and pick up Tennessee Titans' first-round pick next year. They get their quarterback. We get their first-round pick. And I think if you're to trade from 6 to 11, that's realistic to get their first pick. I think it really is. So here, again, we're just going players. It doesn't really matter. It's just showing you options of who would be on the board at this spot for the Detroit Lions. And that's it. So it's not really said the player, but as you can see here, even moving back, you get some talent. You get players to help the team out this year, and you get capital for next year to help the team out. So let's do a different scenario here. Yeah, let me know, grade this mock draft that I just did, just the first couple rounds. Let me know in the comment section. You go ahead and grade this mock draft. I think it'd be a good one. So let's try another situation here. And we'll do a trade-up scenario. How about we do a trade-up scenario? Because that is a possibility. All right? Got to do this really quick. Okay, did they pick yet? All right, pause it. If we're to trade up, it would be with the Arizona Cardinals, okay? Because the two quarterbacks went. I think this is realistic in all honesty. C.J. Stroud, Bryce Young, this is 100% realistic, probably exactly how it goes. But if the Lions are like, you know what, we need to get one premium player in this draft, Will Anderson. So the Lions like, you know what, we're going to give up maybe a pick 55 and get back a draft pick. So we are getting back a third or a fourth round pick, and we're giving up 2 second-round picks to move up 3 spots. So we're giving up basically one additional pick to move up. And we'll see if this occurs. They did not accept it. So maybe it would have to potentially even be pick 18. Let's see if we just remove this, how that works. Okay, so in this case, they're wanting pick 18. And it did not work. So you know what? We'll just force the trade right here. Not this one, right there. We'll force the trade. It'd be something in this scenario to move up from 6 to 3. You have to give up a little bit. For sure. So in this case, we give up 2 seconds and we get a third/fourth back. We'll force the trade. Lions are sitting at pick 3. You're going to take Will Anderson here to beef up the defensive line. So you get your blue chip player. You still have pick 18, and you picked up 1 pick, but you gave up 2 second-round picks. And a lot of people say this is a terrible decision, but it's a possibility. Something that nature. It may not be exactly the way you want to have it, but for sure that could be something they do there. Now, in this case, the Lions could just go ahead and take their BPA, whether it be Kalijah Kancey or whoever they want. It could be anybody. Bijan Robinson. Doesn't really matter. I went Kalijah Kancey last time, so we'll just go Bijan Robinson here. But you're going to have to wait now till the 3rd round for your next draft pick while this is going. Let's speed this thing up. And remember, the Lions got a lot of talent in the football team. Not all the players the Lions draft is going to be on this team. If you have 8 draft picks, 3 of those guys may not even make the football team. So it'd be considered waste of a draft pick. It definitely could. So we're sitting here. We got 2 players moving up. We got blue chip right there. You're sitting here. They go in multiple routes. Whatever they want to do here, take a cornerback or take an edge rusher. Doesn't really matter. It's just showing that there's still talent on the board. Just go wide receiver. But you're giving up those 2 second-round picks to do something like that. I prefer the trade down scenario. I'm not going to lie. Definitely do. But not everybody thinks like me. It's just an option for the Detroit Lions to make in this upcoming draft for trading up. And that's what it could look something like that. In the first 3 rounds, you have 4 picks instead of 5. How about we just do picking what is there? No trade. This is another trade scenario. The Lions just going to go ahead and pick who is available, BPA. In this case, Bryce Young's not going to be here, by the way. The reason I'm not going to select him is there's no damn way he's actually going to be here. There's no way. So, in realistic scenarios, he's not there. I would draft him if he's there, but he's not. But a BPA, it would probably be like a Tyree Wilson, in all honesty. This would probably be what it would be at 6 for BPA, is Tyree Wilson. You're sitting there, you can go ahead and go with the same players that we've been talking about them and just switch it up. But you picked up a really good player, Tyree Wilson, to beef up the defensive line. Good to go. And you can fill other holes now where you're sitting here at pick 18. Again, you go Joey Porter Jr. Yeah, we got corners, but hey, he's a stud. He fell to the Lions at 18. It's just BPA. He may not see as much field time as you like, but he's a cornerstone for your team going forward. Go Hanley. You can go Avila. Beef up the defense some more. You know, we've done this scenario a lot where the Lions just go ahead and select the players that are there and just go with how the board falls. That's a legit option for the Lions. It is. Just sit there and just take who you want. And that's definitely a possibility. And you know, if they're trying to get a quarterback, you may have to go in round 2 to get a Hendon Hooker. You may have to. As you're seeing here, he's not there. And he's actually flying up draft boards, so that could be him even moving up into the first round. I've seen that. So if you're doing just drafting BPA, you're going to get some solid players. But I feel like if you're to trade back, you can still get solid players and pick up additional draft capital. That's my preference. That's why I think staying at 6 is kind of the worst-case scenario, in all honesty. Trading up or down, I think, is a little bit better. Trading back, I think, would be the best way to go. And trading up, it for sure gets you a Will Anderson, or if they did want to get a quarterback. I don't know if they do, but that's a possibility. But let me know in the comment section, what is your guys' favorite options for the Detroit Lions in the draft? Do you want to trade up, trade down, stay? Let me know, folks. And it's not necessarily on these picks that I did. It's just showing you that there's talent on the board. With that said, folks,